Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Turn that off. And oops, not what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's swap. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope everybody's doing well today. Just trying to check the sound on the music. Guess it's okay. Alright. So we are back with another week of to talk about the Ahsoka series. To discuss the newest episode, Time to Fly. You know, what an episode it was for this week. What an episode. This Inferno, what's going on? How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Another week. Hope your week went well. Hope your weekend's going okay so far. I think she knows that she's not up to par to the, Sabine that we've known and love on Rebels. So, I think that she'll get it together, I think. And that get together may not even still be, the Sabine. It may be close to it, at least. We shall see what happens. But, yeah, I definitely hope everybody's week and the weekend, even though your weekend has been going fairly okay. I won't get into my personal life, just having some issues, some interesting issues here at home over the past almost 48 hours. So, yeah, this week coming up is going to be definitely stressful for me, but I'm going to just keep pushing in hopes that there will be some positive coming out of, my current thing that I'm going through here at home. But, with that being said, this episode, like I said, guys, this episode for this past Tuesday, and I'm really glad, truly, I hope, seriously, guys, I really hope, after the writer strike, after, negotiations, after all of this goes through, that, you know what I mean, I personally feel that what Disney has done with the time change, with the show coming on, granted it's 9 p.m. at night, I kind of feel like it would work a little better if it was like 7 p.m. 8 p.m. just being honest. But I think they more so factor that into, like, maybe people with kids and putting them to bed, and you know what I mean, it's a Tuesday night, school night, stuff like that. So I kind of figure that they put that in there as, oh, once the kids go back to school, you know what I mean, parents, can prepare for their little ones to go to bed around 8:30 type of thing, and then they can prep for these type of episodes to drop at 9 o'clock, giving them their, their own, me time type of thing at 9 p.m., at least 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, would be 6 p.m. Pacific, and then, of course, 5 p.m. Central. So, That's what I'm saying. For us on the East Coast, I am, elated that they switched it to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for us over here on North America. And, the hope is that they will continue to do this trend of maybe possibly Tuesdays or even go back to Wednesdays, but it be at, nighttime. So if they switch to Tuesdays at night, maybe 8 o'clock, even. Because at the same time, I'm still going to sleep a little bit later than I normally would. I'm usually asleep between the hours of 7 and 9 at night, most nights. So, me sometimes having to now come home and maybe try to take a 45-minute power nap or hour nap before 9 p.m. hits for me. Yeah, a little bit of struggle. But with that, episode 3, Time to Fly. As always, guys, definitely the stream is only going to go but so far, depending on who is here. I'm going to try to not go too long unless people show up in the comments, in the chat, to be able to share their thoughts, their views on specific things within the episode. I can't wait for episode 4 next week. I really, really can't. It's going to be definitely interesting, as we are technically 2 weeks away from possibly the big episode, from what the rumors are possibly leaning towards as being true. That episode 5 is the longest out of all the episodes that Anakin's supposed to be in it, maybe possibly even Thrawn. So we'll see what happens. But Time to Fly. Let's dive right into it. I'm gonna come off camera here. I'll probably jump in and out of camera here and there, as always. But we're talking about this episode, right? I had to rewatch it twice to really get into what they were trying to show, right? But we get the opening with the with them going in through hyperspace. And the one thing that I do find interesting, and they kept showing it here and there, they even showed it in The Mandalorian season 3 in the last show, and here they are really pointing to the Purrgil here, space walls here, throughout all 3 episodes. They were really hinting that they were going to give us the Purrgil. I'm curious to wondering if we're going to continue to see them throughout the entire show, because I feel like every episode has led us to episode 3 with the Purrgil. So even Balin Skull, we had him, I want to say it was episode 1, maybe even episode 2, where he was looking up in the sky and the Purrgil went flying by in the sky. So even the Purrgil even popped up on the let me grab that real quick. If you remember, let me just double check. It may have been episode 2. Yeah, so when they were here talking and Morgan Elsbeth, her character's talking, and you got the Purrgil right here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they really have been, just like I was talking about even last week with with this episode, should I say, that they really pushing Sabine being force sensitive narrative for her character. They I feel like they're doing the same. They really were pushing for that with Sabine's character in the early episodes too, as well. So they really dived into it even more in episode 3, and I'm glad that we got a chance to see the training spot with Sabine. Maybe we'll get a little bit more here, but I liked her and Huyang really practicing the ways of the Jedi here, with Ahsoka coming in and watching. And I do like the fact that it seemed to me that Sabine here in this episode was really, really focused on just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go practice while you're here, Ahsoka, while you're here at the head of the ship, type of thing. you do this here, I'm gonna go practice because I want to, hone my skills a little bit, because she did lose to Shinhati at the end of episode 1, walking at episode 2. So this is why I'm saying, like, it just was cool to see her do this. They really did push, for us to see this moment, this part. It was just really cool to see Huang even practice with her. It was just really dope. So anytime she swung the weapon, we saw the even like the marking. And I do like how Huang showed, I think I got it here, let me see, it might be, I think it's the best result maybe, where it showed the positive and negative of the practice session, which was cool. I really liked that this moment here. Really liked this moment when he pulled it up. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I thought there was another one. It was like, I think that was the best one that I had, but this one here was original. When he's even looking, this is before the camera switched from Ahsoka behind Huang to Sabine in the front that I just showed. Like I said, I just really liked this part where he showed her, the flaws in her attack patterns and stuff. Is just really cool. But then we see that, we get we go back to, episode 4, New Hope, when she had to put on when Luke had to put on the to block out his eyesight, and they both mirror match each other. Sabine saying, how am I supposed to see it, can't fight? She's repeating what Luke said in episode 4 of New Hope, which is really dope. I like that little connection there. They did that a couple of times here in the episode. And it kind of reminded me, like, the helmet kind of reminded me of G.I. Joe. The mask, the way it looked, it just looked like something from G.I. Joe, sort of, kind of. But I do like that, Ahsoka was testing her during this here, and I do like how Sabine's reactions were very, she just, you could tell she doesn't trust being blind. She doesn't trust her like how Ra's al Ghul told Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins. What Liam Neeson's character Ra's al Ghul say? You gotta mind your surroundings. You know what I mean? She's not minding her surroundings, right? So, with that, I do where'd it go? Trying to refine where I lost. I do like that, with this was, again, just like trying to make sure that, or even show Sabine that, she has some work to do because she hasn't been practicing. It's been a few years, this, that, and the third. I tried to get the part where Ahsoka tripped her, like where her foot touched her. No, I wasn't able to get it. I tried, but this part was from the trailer, so. And of course, we got got Sabine pulling the mask up, saying, what she said to Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka saying, like, it is kind of rough in these Jedi practicing streets, son. You know what I mean? still got work to do, you know. And then that's when she said, you know, again. She didn't say like Anakin, but you know. And then we get the title, Time to Fly. And I do feel like the episode didn't drag or anything. Everything was just like straightforward, went from scene to scene to scene. It was just, that's what I was talking about during the watch party last week. That the episode just flowed. You know, it's not like we really just stuck and stayed in one scene, more so until the last like 10 minutes. But I do indeed like the part here where we get what we got from the trailers, or from the trailer with the ships in the air and stuff like that. It's always just cool to see spaceships just all together, just chilling, right? I really love spaceships a lot, and I wish I could really just hop on one and fly around in the galaxy, far, far away, you know. But I do love these spots here, and then we get Hera. I don't know this actor's name, the brother here. I don't know. I'll have to look up and see what character he's credited. Could just be just somebody that isn't a major character, and I don't even know who the character to his right is either. I would have to really just look up that information if I could find it. But more so, you know what I mean, the focal point, of course, is to get us right into the room to talk to our girl from Andor. You know what I mean? Mon Mothma, and then her crew, her senator's crew, you know? Which was cool. And I didn't know that the one character was from Resistance. I haven't watched Resistance, so I need to sit down and really watch it. I've been meaning to, though even this year I was thinking about doing it and I didn't do it. So now I really have to do it now, because there's a key character here amongst a few other politicians that, you know what I mean, I should have just sat down and watched Resistance a while ago. Maybe even did a rewatch even. But it's all good. It's not, I don't know if he's gonna come back. I really don't know. Like I've stated in last week's watch party, that I feel like Mon Mothma's character here in the episode is the only time we're gonna see her. But the conversation itself, it did need to be said, but there was something that was mentioned from the one, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But there was something that, and the one brother here on the left here, he looks familiar. He looks like a familiar actor. I can't remember. He can't put my finger on it, but I feel like I've seen him in other stuff. EJ Crow, what's going on? How are you? Like, as far as what the microphone or what? Because I feel like the microphone is cool. I checked. I'm cool as far as the mic is concerned. So what? Is like the microphone or? Yeah, like mic. I don't know. Yeah, let me know, dude. Because I'm like, I'll even show you. I'm like right on the mic. I'm right on the mic. Sorry to no, you're fine. I just want to make sure that the volume, I don't know. Like I'm like, as you see, I'm like on the mic. I'm right on it. My lips can even touch it even. I just want to make sure that, so I don't know. Maybe the music is too loud. I'll turn it down another notch. Couple of notches, few notches. I'm gonna disappear again. But yeah, this brother here, I feel like he's familiar to me as far as actor wise. I can't put my finger on it. I have to look up his stuff if I can find it even, and see what's what. But yeah, this guy here, he's from Resistance. I can't remember specifically his name. I would have to look it up. But I feel like, again, this whole conversation with Hera and the senators, I feel like, basically the New Republic, I feel like is only just this one scene. We're not going to see them again. That's kind of what I feel. But I don't necessarily know. We won't know until all the episodes are out. But this conversation, I feel like it definitely needed to be talked about, shared, all of that. Because, Hera is, of course, explaining to them that, there's something a bit bigger, that everybody needs to kind of focus on. And of course, that's Thrawn. And I do love, if I can find it, Mothma's response. This might be it right here. It's just the facial expression. No, not this one. Trying to find it, if I can find it here. This one might be it, because whenever Hera talked and brought up Thrawn, Mothma's expression just changed. Yeah, here it is. This is it right here. This is her when Hera brings up Thrawn, and Mothma's expression changed, and I felt like everybody else's responses were just like, huh, okay, that doesn't sound true or factual. You know what I mean? They just brushed it off, like, and of course, Hera's not, she's of course not in agreement that this is the case. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. Of course, they won't, the Senate, besides Mom, I would say at least besides Mom Mothma, everybody else, they're not going to believe that Thrawn is back until they actually see him physically. I believe that if they do bring them back, to prove to them that Thrawn is back, then I believe that they'll do that. But that's all depending on what actually happened moving forward past episode 3. But I definitely love Hera and his interaction, Hera's response to him, where she was just basically saying, "Oh, where were you? Where have you been in any wars and stuff, or did you just capitalize? Blah blah blah, swoop in and take credit and control this, that, and the third." I really just love Hera's response to him here during this scene, like, a lot. And I want to say that this was the scene that really, for me, because like I said, I want to say it was last week during the discussion stream, that Sabine was cool for me as the character. Ahsoka's been cool, of course, as the character, but Hera wasn't really connecting with me or for me as her character. I know Elizabeth, she was doing the best that she could with the writing and stuff like that, with the look and everything, but it just wasn't really connecting with me. But this specific scene here really tugged at my heart, because she really does care for Ezra, and she wants to make sure that he's found. But I did find that the scene that they brought up Sabine randomly, though, Ezra, I'm sorry, they brought up Ezra randomly, and it's like, how did they know that Hera and crew were really searching, really type of thing. That's my question at hand here. How did they know? I actually have a video that I'm working on. It's pertaining to Balin's skull that I have to get up on the channel. I'll probably try to do that video tonight. Maybe get that up tomorrow. I'll even maybe put it up on the holiday Monday. But all I'm saying is that they brought up Ezra, Hera's goal. Her and her, friend's goal is to search for Ezra, but it's just one of those things that it's just like, how did you know that they're out here searching for, trying to find the homie, even though you don't know him? Ezra, Bridger, how do y'all know that this is what they're doing? Kind of interesting that they placed the writers decided to say we're gonna have them mention Ezra here. I kind of feel like these many people, because again, Hera mentions to them about Thrawn, and the only one that is shocked and awed is Mon Mothma. Everybody else is like, yeah, well, blah, 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 I don't believe it. But they have an issue. But ultimately they have an issue with them going to find Ezra. Sure, whatever. So yeah, this scene was definitely interesting conversation. But of course, right after that, no, but it did also too, because Mon Mothma does ask about little man. We get the youngin, Jason Sudula, pop up in live action form. Just great to see him here, and Chopper too. I do love this spot here with Jason popping up. So because people were picking that, because I didn't pick it up, I saw somebody point it out on a screenshot during the trailers, and they were like, "Oh, that has to be Jason," blah blah. And sure enough, it wasn't. I love Chopper, of course, the homie. Here, it's just really just great to see Chopper in live action form. It really truly is. But of course, the main conversation is, again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, that talking about episode 3, that where they're really diving into Sabine being force sensitive. Jason brings up Sabine becoming a Jedi, Sabine being a force user, and he's like, I want to be a Jedi too. And of course, Mom Dukes, Hera's just like, I know you do, kid, I know you do, Jason. And she rubs his head, a little bit of tiny of a concern with that from this scene here, just a smidge, but she ultimately she's just like, I kind of feel like more so the expression that she gave was a little bit of a concern, but there was still joy behind it. It's not like she doesn't want her son to be all that he can be, for himself, for his own future. But I believe that, of course, Kanan is in the back of her mind, because she did indeed watch him, as many of us have, and Sabine and everybody watched Kanan pass away. And then we get the next scene, which I really I wish that I had this personally. I wish I had this type of a table that popped up out the ground. Really thought that this was cool. I always like this part when they are sitting down at the table to chat. But of course, once again, conversation is about Sabine. Conversation is about her, her becoming a Jedi, and wanting to be better than what she already, than currently what she is. She wants to elevate herself and become better, but she feels like she sucks. You know what I mean? And she's talking to Ahsoka about that. Like, I lack this. You know what I mean? This, I can do other things, but I just can't do. I can't use the Force. Excuse me. But we get that famous line that Yoda, Obi-Wan, both of them said to Luke when they were training him. She says it to Sabine, like, the Force resides in everything. And it is more so focused more so on like talent, more so than skill. You know what I mean? And we know that the Force will, the Force is going to flow and show its will however it's going to flow. But ultimately, she even does here. She uses the Force to bring the cup over to her. I think I have her drinking it too, right? I think I got that right. But somebody said, and it didn't really hit me till somebody said it online, and somebody mentioned this part in the scene, is that when Ahsoka does the cup thing, Sabine's response is of like, she's amazed to see the Force, as if it's like for the first time. And I had to really watch this scene to really see, like, because she's been around Ahsoka. She's been trained by her. More than likely, Ahsoka's had to have done this around her more than once, right? And I wouldn't say it's a nitpick for me, but it was just something that I didn't grasp until I rewatched it. But I feel like Sabine's response should have been something a little different, to be honest, because she should have, Ezra even uses the Force, right? She's been around him and uses the Force. So it was just like her response was, it was interesting that they decided to have her do that. But I do like this part where she tries to use the Force with the cup. She even says like the Force, what does she, I think she did say, if I remember correctly, she does say the Force resides in me, or everything, however she worded it. But with that, of course, she couldn't do it, and then we move on to the next scene between she closed her eyes. Where are you? Oh, I had it. Oops. Because I do like her sitting here. I thought I had it. Yeah, like her sitting here with her eyes closed. She's trying to use the Force, but then I do like how when she's sitting there, she opens one eye. I do like this part. She opened that one eye to see if it even worked. And she's upset that it doesn't. And then of course she walks away. And I do like how they did focus on the cup for brief, few seconds. So I have a image in my phone where it kind of looks like they gave the cup its own poster, but that's not the case. Somebody just put the on it. But like I said, we get the conversation between her and Huang, where they're talking about Sabine before Sabine comes, but they're talking about the fact that Sabine isn't strong. Huyang's like, she's not strong in the Force, and this, that, and the third, and Ahsoka's just saying like, well, it just takes, basically saying like it does take time, right? But with that, the like I said before, they really are truly, because I honestly felt like, guys, that Sabine was not Force sensitive, but that's the focal point of the episodes, that eventually, now even more so now after episode 3, after Time to Fly, I honestly now feel like, after watching episodes 1 and 2, I honestly feel like she's gonna be Force sensitive, and it just depends on how strong she's going to be. She's gonna end up being another Mandalorian Force sensitive character within the universe. That's just what it is. I feel like it's just gonna happen, and some fans are gonna like it, some fans aren't. That's just what it is. But then that's when we get Shin Hati, Marok. Something interesting about Marok, but I'm not gonna say anything. I just heard some interesting stuff that some fans are not feeling about Marok, but I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just let the show either prove or disprove whatever it is about Marok that I've heard specifically. But I did enjoy the space chase scene. I did. And the fact that they were really trying to get after him, and of course the question on everybody's mind is, 1, is Sabine Force sensitive or not? 2, who's Marok? Who is he? We know that it's a guy because Balen Skull called him a he in, I want to say, episode 2. So there's that. And I do like that they really showed this part at the back of the ship, because that was the focal point of saying, okay, per the trailer, we are indeed going to be having Sabine back here to do what she did, because we got the trailer scene. And I always like this part in the ships where we get like the close-ups of specific key stuff on the ship. I really love these spots. They even did it with Skarsgård's character in Andor, with Luthen on his ship. Really just focus on key things. I just love that about Star Wars, how they do that a lot. And this stuff I just love spaceships. I really, really do. I just love spaceships a lot. And I'm hopeful that once we get to the point in this episode that I can talk about what I want to talk about. Something specific, nothing huge or anything like that. But once Sabine gets here and sits in the seat, we know what's getting ready to happen next. She's going to be doing her thing. And that's the thing, from what conversations that I've had with other people on social media when it's pertaining to Sabine's character, some feel like Sabine possibly used the Force in episode 3 a little bit here on the back of the ship while they were being chased. But that's it's all perspective, to be honest. And I have to see if there's some information on this character that ultimately that Ahsoka takes out, or at least one of them. But this is just another look of a character known currently has a no name. Maybe we'll gain some information on this character. But that was cool to see something else outside of Marok and Shin Hati. Just an extra character put into the show, which was cool. Of course, I love these spots where they're using their weaponry to shoot at each other and try to get the upper hand and damage each other's ship or take them out, or whatever the case may be. I do love these spots here. And I caught a great spot here centered around Morocco. I really love this spot here. I was able to capture this while trying to pause it and stuff like that, just to get as many images as possible to screenshot for the episode. I really just love this spot here. This was just cool. So again, like I said, questioning who Morocco is. Who is he? Of course, everybody's thinking it's Ezra, it's Starkiller, it's, you know, yeah, there's even some other stuff. But like I said, I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna let the show do what it does, and then if something is fully officially confirmed, then we can really talk about it. So. And also too, because Ahsoka is flying the ship, I do love this spot that we got from the trailer where she split them so that Sabine could be able. I think I did get a screenshot of her taking out one of the ships or both or two of the ships or something like that. I did love this spot. Yeah, here it goes, where she took out, or at least one of them. She did shoot. She was able to take out two of the ships. Yeah, here we go. She was able to take out two of the ships out of the four that were chasing them. But ultimately, you know what I mean, that's when we switch to here, where it's Morgan's spot. You know, they're coming for her, they're coming for the planet and stuff like that. And this is the spot that I wanted to talk to you all about. Just saying that maybe, possibly, because I did put this in the community tab if I remember correctly, that the hope is maybe we'll see Thrawn's Chimera ship attached to this to be able to fly in space. Currently his ship is damaged. It got damaged during the end of Rebels season 4, so that did happen. But hopefully some type of repairs were made and we're able to actually see, you know, his ship attached to that. But we do get Morgan's character, you know what I mean? She's trying to navigate and direct stuff on her end, you know what I mean? Preparing stuff, trying to get stuff done. I do like the droids that were here. Yeah, I do like these droids here. It's really cool to see them. And their responses, them talking to her. I don't think they spoke in basic though. I think they may have spoken a different language. But because at the time I didn't have the subtitles on, so I would have to go back and see. But I think they're speaking in a different type of language, but that only Morgan can understand. And of course, we get her preparing to fire at Ahsoka and Sabine in the ship here, which was just cool to see this occur. I do like this spot when they do show the ship's guns to be able to prepare. They start moving around and stuff to point in the direction that they want it to go, kind of like cannons on regular ships out to sea, like on like Pirates of the Caribbean type of stuff. And I like that when they're firing at the ship that it's missing, because, you know, Ahsoka's out here whipping the ship, making sure that it doesn't hit to stop them. But of course it does indeed hit. I did put a video out, I think it was a couple days ago, where what Sheen Hati's character had said to Morgan after they got hit. And here's the part where they did get hit, because the fact that Huyang was trying to scan the ship. Huyang couldn't get it to really fully correlate, to be able to really focus on the appropriate scanning portion. But it was more so like they had to like get fully, truly, totally close to the ship to do, and that's of course what caused them to get damaged. and Morgan's character is saying like, is it gone? Is it done for? And then they're just like, oh, it's not done. They didn't get destroyed. Blah blah blah. And like I said, um, Shinati's response is, you you did your best that you could. Blah blah blah. Like I said, I put the video out because it reminded me what she said when she said, we'll take it from here. I kept thinking about specific scene that Denzel Washington said. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, and I finally found it. It's from Safe House. You can look at the video here on the channel. It has Shinati. It has the title is called "We'll Take It From Here." You can check that out. It's really, really super, super short. Like I said, scenes from Safe House. So it just something that just stood out to me. That I was like, that sounds just like what Denzel Washington's character said. But that's when, of course, after the fact, that we do get the Jedi space fighting. Ahsoka dons the space suit. This was cool. Really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if they could have done anything extra with this scene. I think that honestly that it did its job. I don't know if I got this part. Well, I tried to get showing Ahsoka blocking the laser shots that were shooting at her. But she did her thing. I love this spot here. This was cool to see. This was different. At the time, it didn't click with me because I haven't watched Clone Wars in a while. It didn't click with me that Plo Koon was the first one to actually do it. Now I don't know if technically he really was the first one. I kind of feel like he was, but I would say currently, first Plo Koon did it, and now we have Ahsoka doing it. So this was just cool to see. I didn't grab it. I should have grabbed it. It's okay. But after Ahsoka damages the ship, the ship to take another one out. I was able to capture this too. That's when Ahsoka gets left out the space to float. And of course, you did have fans, couple of fans griping at the fact like, oh, why didn't Ahsoka do what Leia did in the prequels? The sequels? Why didn't she use the Force to pull herself back? But I honestly kind of feel like I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that. To be honest, I'm just like, that's fine. I feel like it's okay that she's floating out there and waiting for, in the midst of, Shinati still going after them. I personally feel like this is cool for them to have her get back to the ship this way. And enter the ship safely, undamaged. And then we get the chase to ultimately get to where we land. We do have them chasing them, firing at them and stuff like that. And yet another spot of a close-up of the ship. Another portion of the ship. Another spot. I do love stuff like this. They did do this on Andor too. But once we get them a little bit closer to the atmosphere, that's of course when we get the Purrgil popping up, the space wells popping. It's like, there it is. This is the episode. This is it. There they go. Look at them in all their glory. Kind of makes me wonder where they were going. If this planet, because again, like I said, episode 2, I believe it was episode 2, maybe even episode 1, this is the planet that Baylan Skoll, Shinati, and Morgan came to be able to decipher the map, and there was a Purgle in the air when Balin Skull's character looked up. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if we'll be able to even. I don't know. I don't know if. No, it's not. It is episode 2. I honestly don't think. Oh, actually, I think it's episode 1. So it is episode 2. I just can't find the actual. Oh, here it goes. I think it's right. I think this is it right here. No, not there. Oops. Yeah, it's like right here. It's really hard to see unless I was able to mark it, and I didn't. Maybe I'll do that today or tomorrow just to save it. I can be able to mark it. So, but it is right here where the Purgle did fly around. So this is just confirming to me, at least this is for me. It feels like a confirmation that Purgle reside on this planet. Is this a close-up? Okay, there's another close-up of the Purgle. But there was something about their body that kind of stood out. Oh, real quick, we got an eye. We have a Purgle eye here. If you pay attention to it, there's an eye here. No, that one's a little bit. Yeah. But this is a Purgle eye. They have an eye. And also, too, these, like, I want to say, like, white strings or however that are attached to their body. I kind of wonder if this is like a connection to, the map itself. I'm just curious about that. Just something that I'm thinking out loud. Like, maybe this is a connection to the map itself, part of their body. But of course, they were able to sort of kind of evade. Well, not sort of, but they were able to evade them. And they land while Shinatis and Marok are searching for them. They can't find them. They disappeared. They lost them. But I do love the trees and stuff like that. The color red here. But of course, we do get another shot of Marok here, plus, like I said, plus Shinati. And I didn't grab this other part. I forgot to mention this. Just popped in my head. She's wearing the same, I want to say it's the exact same model, Shinati's character. This sort of kind of like microphone to be able to communicate with who she needs to communicate with. like she's wearing the same thing that Anakin wore back at the prequels, so that was just cool to see too. But with that, that's when we get the conversation with Huang about this hyperspace, basically machine here, this thing here, space thing. What it's doing is saying he was saying something about 6 things connected to it. The main one I want to say was at the bottom, I think. But they were saying, he was talking about how, they use this to be able to travel. They bring up the Jedi Temple, and about the archives, talking about the Purple, talking about, them being able to use this to travel where they need to go in hyperspace. And he mentions the Purple, and then that's when the circle's like, just like we saw it up in the air. And then of course Huang is like, when did we see this? It's like, yeah, this is it. You missed it. You were kind of knocked out. And then we get Balin's character, and he says out loud, they're hiding in the forest, go find them. Get a little close up of Balin, and then the episode ends. So like I said last week, wondering about Balin's character a little bit more, because I have a video that I'll probably look to finalize tonight, and push out tomorrow if I can. It should go out tomorrow, but if not, definitely Monday. But I'm just like curious and wondering about his character, but I'll more so dive into it on the video itself, because I did do the recording for it. At least I just gotta put it together and then push it out. So yeah, those are my thoughts on episode 3. Nobody else was here. Some people were in here, they were lurking, which is fine. But the episode itself, gave it a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Watched it a few times on top of getting these screenshots to just be able to talk about the episode for today. So as always, I might do another plus it depends on how my week, what I really need to be doing this week coming up, but I might do another watch party for episode 4 on Tuesday, starting around like 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that, just before the episode drops. But I might not. It probably more so be like a prediction stream, but I probably won't do a full on. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm probably gonna just do a prediction stream, not a watch party stream, because it will be more beneficial that I do what I need to do with recording the entire episode, so I'll be able to get ready to prepare to work on my 1 or 2 videos that night before I go to bed, because I have to work Wednesday morning. So try to make sure I get all the rest and sleep that I can once I get that 1 or 2 videos out. I usually try to do 2 videos now before bed as fast as possible, but it usually does take me an extra, like it takes me about an hour and a half to get even 2 videos done. And as you see, they're either 5 minutes long or less, so it just depends. Like some, even the 5-minute video, sometimes it takes me 40 plus minutes, but it just depends. So, but those are my thoughts, guys. I enjoyed episode 3. If you watch this stream at the end all the way through, leave some comment sections below. Let me know your thoughts. What did y'all think of Time to Fly for this past Tuesday? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you dislike it? Doesn't matter to me. Share your opinions. I want to hear them. What should I say? Read them in the comments. And like I said, I'll look to do this video hopefully tonight and get it out tomorrow on Balin's skull. Something that I was pondering about his character. But I'll share that in the video. But I'm about to be out, so I'm gonna be able to work on this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of this stream if you feel like sharing them, your opinions and everything like that. But with that, I will hopefully talk to you all next time with another stream or video to come soon. And remember, the